All right, welcome to another Monday team call. Tonight we have Dani on our call. I'm super excited about. I'm going to just go over recognition really quickly so she doesn't have to listen to all of us. But make sure you're muted when you jump on. I'm going to share my screen really quickly and just kind of cap off how February ended because we had a killer month as a team. Oh, look, you can see right here. So we changed 44 lives as a team. So huge, you guys. Like last month, I think it was 32, and I was like shocked. And so now we're just going to keep going up. This month, our goal is 50 coaches or 50 people, 50 lives changed. On the board for February, we had Sarah, Shelby, Shelly, we got all the S's, Ashton, Alyssa, Maria. Success Club 5 hitters was Courtney, Nick, Megan, Grace, and Phoebe, and I hit Success Club 42, which is an all-time high for me. Never thought that would happen. Like, that just blows my mind. But I told you guys at the beginning of the month, I set my goal that I wanted to be in that test group, and I was going to hit Success Club 40, and I made it happen. So for all of you girls, I was talking to Courtney about it earlier, that she needed to make her goal by the end of the month to go freaking diamond. She has 4 coaches already. Go emerald for the next 2 weeks and work her way up to diamond, make it a goal and make it happen. So Courtney was our top PV producer, top recruiter was me, top life changer was Phoebe, and then coach of the week was Shelly, which I was super excited about. She was a new coach. She came in guns blazing, signed up her new first customer within the first week. Her customer was her cousin, made it super simple, got her cousin in the challenge group, and they're both rocking it, posting it every single day. And that's what we want. And then here is our March leaderboard. Obviously, we're still blank. It'll come out on Thursday, all of our leaders. But on the board, I've helped 2 lives so far. Okay, this 4 is wrong. Don't look at that. Mariella is one of our brand new coaches that came on this past weekend. Signed her up, a new customer. Phoebe has 2. Katie has 2. Lex has 2. And Maria has Success Club 2. Awesome, you guys. That's so crazy. We're starting off March already strong, and today was a huge launch for us. And I'm going to go live later and talk about Portion Fix and the launch today so we don't overwhelm too much. But I'm just so proud of our team, and huge things are coming. All right. So with that being said, we have Dani on the call. Dani is an elite 2019 coach. She has hit Success Club for 59 months in a row. Like, how freaking crazy. Success Club 10, legend, 5-star diamond coach. And she was a success starter, which I strive for all of you guys to hit that in your first 3 months as a coach. And she was able to do it. So I will let her take it away.
Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for having me. Do you want me to go a little bit into my story and then share, or just share my topic?
Your story, because I talked on your call last week, and so they're probably like, who was that person?
Okay, yeah, definitely. So, hello, everybody. My name is Dani. I've been a coach for, 5 years. This month, March 26th will be my 5-year anniversary. So super pumped. As you heard Maddie say, I have hit Success Club for 59 months. If you do the math, that means I've never missed it. And I'm actually at Success Club 14 right now for March. So that makes it 60 months. So I've never missed Success Club. And so I really love sharing my story and how I started out in this business, because I think it speaks volumes to what we're doing here. So here's how I started out, and here's how I've never missed Success Club. And then I'll go into my topic. So I was a college athlete. I played volleyball like Maddie, and I hated it. I loved it at the time, but I hated it in the sense of I was owned, right? Like 4 a.m. workouts, 6 p.m. workouts, plus school, plus I had to have a job. Like, I was just owned, and I was just run bare, okay? And so when I graduated, I was like, I'm never working at it again, because I hate it. Like, I was just so disenchanted with it. But I kept eating like a college athlete, which meant I was eating everything in sight, anything I wanted, because I could do that before and not gain any weight. So next thing I know, I had gained, like 40 pounds in a few months. No, like 60 pounds. I don't know, a ton of weight. And that was just kind of my new life, and I didn't really know what to do. If you have been a college athlete, you don't really know. You're always told exactly what to do for workouts. So then when you do want to start getting healthy and fit again, you're like, There's not someone like screaming orders at me. Like I have no idea what to do with myself. So I would go to the gym and like go on the elliptical and like, this is cool, really boring and terrible. And I would never lose weight. So fast forward, let's see, 2014. So I stopped playing in 2011. So 3 years after volleyball, my now husband and I went on a run on January 1st or somewhere in there because it was the new year and we were going to get healthy. And I used to run like a 6-minute mile and I couldn't even make it a quarter of a mile without almost dying. So that was a shock. And like I'm sure he had to like carry me back to our apartment, and we get to our apartment and I can remember this vividly. I grabbed like a pint of ice cream. Don't mind my baby. I grabbed like a pint of ice cream, sat on the couch, and put it on the TV Guide channel to see what was on Bravo, because I love the Real Housewives of whatever. And at the top of the TV Guide channel, we're talking like not satellite or anything, just regular TV, where they have infomercials, was T25. And I was like, okay, 25-minute workouts in my own home. They tell me what to do. I'm going to try this out. I called the number. Only infomercial I've ever called the number, and they were like, do you want Shakeology? And I'm like, no, I don't want your stupid shake. Do you want a free 7-day sample of Shakeology? Yes, I like free things, so send me the free 7-day sample. So I get my kit in the mail. I lose 8 pounds the first week. Part of my story that I'm really not going to get too much into is that I also had been battling digestive issues for the last 5 years prior to starting drinking Shakeology. And all of a sudden that first week, they were gone. I was on like 4 medications, and all of a sudden I wasn't in pain anymore. And I was like, what in the freaking world? But it couldn't be the shake. So of course it was just like the fact that I was eating healthy and working out, right? So next week goes by and I feel like crap again and I'm in pain. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to order this stupid shake, but I'm going to do the 30-day money back guarantee. I'm going to send them an empty bag to like rub it in their face. I ordered the shake. Sure enough, you guys, I'm healed. I'm off 4 medications. They never figured out what was wrong with me, but Shakeology healed me. That being said, Shakeology is not intended to prevent or cure any disease. That's just my experience. Disclaimer. Okay, so then I was a lifer. So here's the important part that you guys need to know. I signed up as a coach for the discount. There was no business building intention. I didn't even know that there was really a business opportunity. I just knew that I could get the discount. And so, sorry. And so I signed up, and that was in March. And then next January, so almost a year later, I went to Super Saturday because my coach, who doesn't really build a business, well, she doesn't do anything with the business. She wanted to meet her coach, who was Amy Silverman, at Super Saturday. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go to Super Saturday with you. And so we went to Super Saturday, and I found out that there was a business opportunity. And I was like, oh my God. Not only did I find out that there was a business opportunity, I found out that I had been hitting Success Club since March. Like I didn't even know it was a thing. Okay. So the moral of my story here is that I wonder if she like can hear me. And she's like, I want to know what mom's doing. It's distracting. Anyways, moral of the story, I was so excited about my shake and about my workouts that I was posting on my social media, and I was pumped, and I was paying it forward to my friends. I figured out how to sign them up all by myself, and I was signing them up, and we were doing challenge groups. I've never even been in a challenge group. Like my coach never even ran a challenge group. So I've never been in a challenge group. I've never been shown how to do anything, but I never missed Success Club, and I didn't even know it was a thing. Moral of the story, you guys, be excited. Don't filter yourself. Instead of making your business about, I need to help 3 people and be in Success Club. I need to rank advanced to diamond. I need to, oh my God, it's a job. I dread this. I dread inviting, blah, blah, blah. Don't make it about that. Make it about like, oh my God, I'm so excited to pay it forward. Oh my God, I'm going to get diamond because I'm going to have people join my team and pay forward the successes that I found in my own life. I'm going to hit Success Club because holy crap, I'm getting results. I'm feeling awesome. And I want other people to feel the way I feel. So that's that. The other thing I want to say is that not only have I hit Success Club for 59 months, 60 months, I almost always hit Success Club 20 or higher. And this isn't like me telling you that's what you need to do. I just really like to speak on scarcity, because I feel like a lot of people join and they're like, oh, there's so many Beachbody coaches, or there's nobody to help. Well, that's obviously not true, because I've been doing this for 5 years and I've helped, like last month I hit Success Club 60 and I'm already at 14 for this month. And I've been a coach 5 years. So it's not like we're running out of people to help is what I'm getting at. The fact that I've been able to help that many people every month for 5 years means there's a ton of people to help. There's actually 260 million obese adults in the United States alone. And so there's still a huge problem, you guys, that we have the responsibility and the amazing gift of helping with. Okay, so that's my story. Once I found out there was a business opportunity that January, 4 years ago, I went Emerald immediately. I went Diamond within my first 3 months. I went Star Diamond by June. And then I was a Star Diamond coach since then, until a year ago when my team, we finally went 5-star. So I don't know how long a lot of you have been coaches, but I'm definitely not like a Bonnie Engel or anything like that who went like 0 to 60. I'm more of like a jogger, a yogger. And what I'm going to share with you guys today is how I got over that hump of being stuck at Diamond and 1-star to finally advancing to 5-star. And the secret behind it was that I started being myself. I started being authentic, and I started being vulnerable. The people who I had on my team for the last 4 years, well, 3 years before last year, weren't my people. And I didn't really realize it until I took a hard look in the mirror and realized that I was trying to be somebody I wasn't. So I don't know anybody else's experience. So I don't know if this is just me, but me joining and not having a coach and having to figure out everything by myself, I think that I really leaned on other coaches and how they presented themselves on social media. And, you know, we hear like, don't reinvent the wheel, which is 110% true. But I took it a little too seriously. And I started to try to be like other top coaches. I started to try to dress like them, to talk like them, to like the things they liked. So like if all the top coaches were into yoga, I'm like, I love yoga, peace and love. And it just wasn't me. And it took me a few years to realize that I was doing that. But I guess I just didn't know my own way. I didn't really know who I was. And yeah, it was not good. Also, in that time, when I would try to post, you guys, it would take me like 45 minutes to an hour to make a post. Like, it was so hard to make a post because I was trying to say things a certain way to either A, be like somebody else in the way that they spoke, or B, try to attract people. Like, I was physically trying to like talk in a way that other people would like me. And let's use Amy Silverman as an example. She's like my grandma coach. I'm like, well, if Amy sees this, would she like it? Would she approve of it? So I don't know if you guys ever done that. Like, would Maddie be okay with my post? Would she like it? Or would she judge me? Like, if you're ever thinking those things, like, throw them out, because guess what? Maddie's Maddie and you are you. And if you don't take off your mask and be authentically yourself and be vulnerable, you're never going to be able to find your people who are going to run with you and who are going to connect with you and build this business. Okay? So here we go. Here are my points for authenticity, vulnerability, and storytelling. And something else, I guess, I don't really like to like share this too much, but I don't even know how to say it. I'm good at attraction marketing. It just sounds like, it makes me feel like I'm like full of myself. But the only reason that I say that is because I'm not even joking, at least 5 messages a day from random people on my Instagram telling me how much they love how real and raw and vulnerable I am. And all of those turn into invites on my end, right? So if you are able to apply these things that I'm about to share with you and make people comfortable with approaching you and getting in your inbox, it's going to be so much easier to invite. Because heck, you guys, this is like the whipped cream on top of your pie. Like, your pie is your actual invites, but then like the attraction marketing, the people who come to you in your inbox, that's the whipped cream, the icing on top. So you don't want to rely 100% on this, but oh my God, like, why not have a little bit of extra whipped cream in your inbox each day, right? Okay, so I'm going to get to my points for sure. I also like to go on tangents, so bear with me. Okay, so my point number 1, be you. I already touched on this a little bit. Don't filter yourself to try to like mom, mouth, and brain. Don't filter yourself to try to be someone you're not, to try to have someone like you, to try to be liked by someone else. Like anything, if you ever once think, will they like it? Am I going to get likes? Will they judge me? If you're thinking that, you're not being you. Like you should not be thinking those things. You will attract the wrong people if you do that. Apparently, I've already spoken on all my points of my first topic. So just bear with me. Something that's huge, and I don't know if any of you have like teams that you do calls with other than Maddie, but when I used to be on my team calls, I would like crack a joke because I'm like the funniest person in the world and no one would laugh. And I would be like these people don't get me. Like they don't know who I am because they weren't my people. And like, they probably were thinking the same thing. Like this girl is nothing like she presented herself to be on social media. So now when I crack my stupid jokes, cause I'm like a huge nerd, my team, like we're all cracking up and crying together. So that's how I know that I'm finding my people. So pay attention to that. If you get on a GSR call or a group call with your team and it's like silence, radio silence, no one's laughing, like you think something's funny and they don't, probably not your people, and you probably need to refine your social media and what you're sharing a little bit. A big point on being you and me telling you to not filter yourself and not like change who you are is I think that a lot of people think that means that they have to stay who they are right now, but that's not true. You can definitely grow and you can definitely evolve as a person. Let me rephrase that. You have to grow and you have to evolve as a person to be able to build your business. They say your business only grows as much as your brain does. So that's where your personal development comes in. But make that true to who you are. If it doesn't feel right, if you feel uncomfortable, well, uncomfortable is a good thing. But you get what I'm saying. If it doesn't feel authentic and real to you and you don't like it, don't do it. Okay, my next thing is connective tissue. So you guys need to be sharing the good, the bad, the ugly, and the common. And I think this is a huge thing. And these points that I'm talking about for right now until I get to storytelling are going to be your Instagram stories and maybe Facebook stories. I don't use Facebook stories, but if you use Facebook stories, that applies to that as well. So the boring common things that happen in your everyday life, that's where people connect to you. So if you're ever in your day doing the same thing that you do every other day, turn on your little Instagram video and video it. So for example, I have an espresso machine and I take a little video of my Nespresso brewing each morning. Seems boring, right? But people expect it. They expect to see it from me. And guess what? Guess how many people I get in my inbox asking what this Nespresso machine is? It's a boring common thing. Or guess how many people I get in my inbox saying, I have an espresso too. What's your favorite, flavor? So it's a normal, boring, common thing, but it's part of my day and I'm going to share it. What's a boring, common thing you do every single day that you can start putting on your stories? It's like a reality TV show. People tune into this, you guys. They want to know what you're doing behind the scenes. Now I said the good, the bad, the ugly, and the common. So that was the common. The ugly. The ugly is the weird shit that happens to you that you're like, did anyone just see that? Like, that's just my luck. Like, that always happens to me. That always happens to me. Oh my God. I have the worst luck. Like that stuff that makes you like stop in your tracks and you're like, this can't be real life. Share that. You're in that moment right now. Share that. So like, for example, today I was like, I have a baby. If you haven't put two and two together, I was like burping her on my lap and I went to like move her to my shoulder and she spit up and like, I just in time closed my mouth and it was like all over my face and it was like dripping down her body. And so I grabbed my phone and I'm like, first time I'm getting spit up in my mouth. And like so many people were in my inbox telling me about the first time they got spit up in their mouth, right? Because it's like this weird thing that people can connect with. So they connect with the common stuff. They connect with the weird stuff. Or if you are a weirdo and you do weird things, share that too. Because there's other weirdos who do weird things that you want on your tribe. Because those people understand you and you understand them. So the other day I said, how often do you guys use a new coffee cup? And I did like a poll, or no, I did a question. And then I shared what people were saying. So many people were like, ew, only once. I only use a coffee cup once. Ew, ew, ew. And then my people were the people who were like, a week. Whenever my husband puts my coffee cup in the dishwasher, like, no big deal. And I'm like, yes, those are my people. And then I was like making fun of the people who, like, in a nice way, I'm like, those people are doing extra dishes, washing their coffee cup in the dishwasher every single day. Who has time for that? So again, just something weird that I thought to myself, I wonder if there's other people like me who are sickos who don't use a new coffee cup every day. So we all have those thoughts throughout the day where we wonder, like, if other people are like us. Start asking those questions and putting fun stuff like that on your Instagram stories. Okay, so be fun and funny. This makes people feel good. And this is one of my favorite points to talk about, because we all are funny in our own way. We all have our own sense of humor. So when you're like in that good mood, do you ever like get in that goofy mood and you're just like giggly, and maybe it's because you're overtired, but you would never admit it, and you just are like on a roll? Pull out your Instagram video and like video yourself being funny, because, well, and this goes with the weird stuff, the weird crap that happens, because when you can make people laugh, that is an instant connection. Because guess what? When people laugh, they literally release a chemical called oxytocin. And if you've probably heard of oxytocin, it happens 3 times in like your life. I mean, more than 3 times, but 3 situations. Number 1, when you childbirth, you have oxytocin to bond with your child. Number 2, relationships, like sexual relationships, you have oxytocin to bond with your partner. And number 3, your friends. When you laugh with your friends, you create a literal chemical bond with them. So if you can make people laugh on your Instagram stories, you are making it. You are making it, sister, okay? And they can't help but just like fall in love with you and want to like come back to your stories for more, because it's addicting. Oxytocin is addicting. So they want to be on your stories. They're always going to be checking for your stories. And you know, honestly, like when I built my business 4 years ago, Instagram did not have Instagram stories, and it was so much harder. So we are #blessed to have Instagram stories and be able to like show up the way we can on there. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. The last thing about sharing your connective tissue, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the common on your Instagram stories, you guys, you are forming to hundreds or thousands, I don't know how many followers you have, of people at once. So like you are doing your actual job of forming all at one time. This brings me into my next point, which is trust and vulnerability. So when people start learning about us, I always love to use the example of like Grey's Anatomy. So does anyone watch Grey's Anatomy? Am I the only like old person? What show do people watch now? I don't know. This Is Us. Whatever show you watch, the main character. Maybe you guys are like all really good and you don't watch TV. Bless your hearts. You're just busy doing your invites and personal development. One Tree Hill. I never got into that. I can't even name a character. It's a sin. It's a sin. Whatever character, I'm just going to say Grey's Anatomy, Meredith Grey. We all know her. We love her. We cry with her. We laugh with her, whatever. You are Meredith Grey to your followers. Like, I don't think you realize that. When you start making that connection and sharing that connective tissue and they start bonding with you, they are like in it. It's reality TV, even though Grey's isn't reality. It's reality TV. They want to see it. They want to know it. They want to know what's going on, and they want to keep up to date. What's the first thing you do when you get on Instagram? Well, don't say it in front of Maddie, but the first thing you do is you click on Instagram stories. Even though you're supposed to be like working, you're like, and then you get like 3 through and you're like, dang it, I need to go work. Well, maybe it's just me, but that's what people do, okay? And most of the people we're trying to attract or work with aren't MLM people who are supposed to be working on Instagram, so they're definitely checking their Instagram stories first. So you definitely need to be in there, being you, and letting people get to know you using the connective tissue I just talked about. Is she okay? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. It's very distracting when your baby cries. Okay, so be real, be raw, and be vulnerable. So I have cried many times on my Instagram stories. I'm not afraid to show it. I'm not like, I don't want to like people to think like I don't cry, but at the same time, you don't want to like cry every day on your Instagram stories because then maybe you have a bigger problem and you might need to see a therapist. But if something's going on in your life that you are like tearful about it, like, okay, so my first postpartum workout, I was like bawling. I'm like, oh my God, I did it. And I'm like on my Instagram stories just like crying, like I didn't think I could do it. And my baby watched me and she smiled, just cheering me on. And I like went on there and like, oh my God, filled my inbox, filled it, because people loved seeing how vulnerable I was. And the other people who did their first postpartum workout, they're like, yes, I have experienced the same thing. So we're in it together. Be real. So share the real stuff. Like, don't take 100 freaking selfies to find the perfect one. Don't take like 15 angles of you standing in the mirror to get like your best abs. Like, just show who you are. Because guess what? If you're only showing the perfect stuff and you're not being real and raw, you are now on a pedestal and no one's gonna like be like, yes, I want to work with you. Like in terms of they're not gonna reach out to you and say that, because they're afraid of you. If you are some perfect fitness person on Instagram, you are unrelatable and people are scared of you. But if you come down to their level and you're like, hey, yeah, I got the cellulite too. Hey, yeah, this is what I look like. Like, here's me post, here's me real. Then that way, when people are like, okay, she's just a normal girl. She doesn't bite. She shares like the crazy things in her life. She shares the good, the bad, the ugly. I feel like I know her and I feel like I can trust her. So I will reach out to her. Add value on your Instagram stories. So what's your favorite dry shampoo? How do you do your perfect bun? What's your favorite workout leggings that don't go down your body? What are you making? What are your meals each day? People, that's like a huge one, especially with the Ultimate Portion Fix. If you're not like talking about it in breadcrumbing right now with what you're eating and somehow tying it in like with your containers or something. And so people are getting really intrigued at what you're doing. Oh my God, I just realized it looks like the portion containers, but it's not. It's baby toys. Just starting her early. No big deal. So make sure you're adding value every single day, because again, people need a reason to follow you. Give them a reason to follow you. So overall, with you being real, raw, and vulnerable, the thing is that they need to know you and they need to feel you. They need to have an emotional connection with you. So why will they sign up with you versus the different Beachbody coach? And the answer to that is the connective tissue. Because I'm a weirdo with a weirdo husband galloping with my baby in the background. And other weirdos love me, right? But maybe you're just like a super cool chick who has tattoos and rides motorcycles. So like share that, because then those are your people. Because that super cool chick who rides motorcycles and has tattoos probably isn't going to sign up with me because she probably thinks I'm a weirdo because she's like a hard ass and I'm crying and I'm a weirdo. Does that make sense? So if you don't share the things that set you apart and that make you you, then you're just white noise. Because I did talk about scarcity at the beginning of this call and how there are a ton of people that can always help us. But what we also need to realize is that there are a lot of coaches. That's fine. No big deal. But you have to stand out in some way. And so if you're only showing up with the basic B stuff of, oh, here's my sweaty selfie, blah, 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 then people aren't going to want to work with you. I just saw we have 9 minutes, so I'll wrap this up. Okay, so consistency. This builds trust. And when I say consistency, I'm not only talking about your workouts and your supplements, sharing that on your social media stories every single day, but things you do daily, like the coffee, the makeup, the hair. What are things that you do every single day that you can share? Because when you show up every single day with the same exact stuff, that's when people will start to trust you. So whether you invite them or they pop in your inbox and want to know more, it's because they trust you and they know that you will show up for them every single day on their journey. Okay, my last point is storytelling. So when I talk about storytelling, I'm mainly talking about your permanent Instagram feeds. But also, I mean, you can apply it to if you're talking on a video in your Instagram stories. Don't write your post as if you are talking to 1,000 followers. Write your post as if you're talking to your best friend, your mom, your dad, your dog, whoever you can be your truest self with. And this is what I talked about earlier. If it takes you more than 10, 15 minutes to make a post, you know you're overthinking it. And you know you're not being your honest, authentic self. And for some people, they find it the easiest to like pop out their voice message. And so like they have their picture, they know the message that they want to say, pop on there, say it in a voice message like you were telling your best friend. And that's the same for inviting. How would you invite your best friend? How would you want to be invited? Don't overthink it. Don't do some weird script. Like invite the way that you would talk to someone you love. So write your post like you're talking to your best friend, use voice text, set up the scene and tell the story. So if you're just like, oh, here's my challenge group, blah, 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 like that's not going to work. What you need to do is say, I remember I was sitting on my couch eating ice cream, watching the TV Guide channel, looking for what was on Bravo. From there, my life changed because I ordered my first and only infomercial and it changed my life, right? So you need to set the scene, get people in that moment with you. Grab attention with a one-liner at the beginning of your post. This will make people want to read it. So for example, I might start off my post with, I peed my pants. People aren't going to keep scrolling. They're going to be like, what? She peed her pants? And they're going to keep reading. And I'm like, yeah, I peed my pants. Like I was working out. Apparently after you have a baby, you might pee your pants when you jump. So, people will read that post. So one-liners make them feel like they're there. So use like descriptors of, I was in the middle of the grocery store or whatever. So just make sure that you're really setting the scene and getting the person with you in there. Add suspense, details, and drama and make it fun to read. But again, it's just like you're talking to your best friend. Because I guarantee if something crazy happened to you at Ross in the checkout line, you're not going to go to your best friend and be like, this is what happened at Ross in the checkout line. You're going to be like, dude, get this. My hands are full of like 5 dresses for the Success Club trip. And this little kid runs up behind me. Like that's how you're going to be telling the story. You're not going to be like, this little kid pants me at Ross. You're going to like set up the scene and like tell them what happened. Man, I am creative. That didn't really happen. I just made that up. Okay, so in conclusion, you guys, when we are talking about authenticity, vulnerability, being real, raw, and being you on your Instagram or Facebook, whatever, social media, what would people know about you if everything fitness, health, and Beachbody related was removed? If we took away all your posts about fitness, health, food, Beachbody, what would they know about you? What would be left? Because guess what? Fitness, health, Beachbody, all awesome, all inspiring. That's a freaking job, but we're all doing it. So there's got to be something left that's you. That's it.
Dude, I don't think I've laughed that hard all day. You're the best. I was so entertained the entire time. Like your stories that you created while like giving examples, like what? And then they got pants. I'm like, oh my God.
I don't know.
That was literally so good. I think that was one of the best trainings I've heard in a really, really long time.
Oh, yay. That makes me feel good.
Does anyone have any
questions?
Yeah, does anyone have any questions for Dani? We have like 4.5 minutes left. You can either pop them in the chat or unmute yourself. I don't know. That was pretty freaking fire. I'm just going to say.
Yay.
And, the baby just adds to it,
I know. She's so funny.
She's
like,
like,
I'm really not kidding you guys. You really, like, my job is so much easier because I have people in my inbox every day. Because they know me and they trust me and I'm just who I am. And this wasn't overnight. Like I said, you guys, I struggled with this for like 3 years. But last year I'm like, screw it. I don't care if Amy doesn't like me. As a matter of fact, I actually think she likes me more now because she thinks I'm funny.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Amy is a pretty cool person. I watch her stories every single day, so. Like, I won. All right. Well, if no one has any questions, we'll let you guys go. But thank you so much. Oh, wait. Hold on. I want a boomerang. Real quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Phoebe, do you have clothes on? All right.
Well, if you listen to the whole call in the shower.
All right. Everyone. 3, 2, 1. That was really bad.
There is one thing I want to add to the 3 minutes.
Yes.
I don't want to be rude, but don't talk on your stories for like 10, 15 stories. Try to like keep it at like 5 at a time and then like do a picture or something, and then you can get back to what you're talking to. Because people, I even did a poll on my Instagram because I was curious, and I have a lot of followers, and there's only like 10% of people who will actually sit there and read it, especially if you don't like grasp them. And the other thing is that a lot of people don't have the sound on when they're watching Instagram stories. So if you are going to talk, see, AL Waters 23 and me. We don't use sound. So if you are doing like 5 or so stories talking, just put like a little like cliff notes, little text at the bottom of each one. I think that that's helpful too, because then maybe they'll read it and be like, okay, it's worth listening to. But if I see, and I know there's a lot of people, if you see like 100 little dots at the top, you're like, ain't nobody got time for this. Next story. Even my own coaches, and I try to tell them, they don't listen to me. I'm like, I don't got time for this. I'm not even supposed to be watching these. I'm supposed to be working. So I can't watch this.
So true. So true. Thank you so much. All right, let's just take one last photo. Everyone smile if you can. Sorry. 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you so, so much. That was so, so helpful.
Yay.
All right. Have a great week, everybody. Happy Monday.
Having me.
Of course. Thank you. Bye.